Hello everyone, myself Sowmya, Assistant Professor in CSE AIML Department, MLR Institute of Technology. In this video, we are going to discuss about Flask flashing. So, coming to the overview of this presentation covers about Flask flashing and what is this flash method and what about this get_flash_ messages method, and we will also see some example application. So, what is this Flask flashing? So, sometimes we will fill the details like username and password followed by submit button, or it may be like sometimes we may do some mistakes in the entering the username or password. At that time, we will get some message. It will flash some message, like it may display some error message, or it may give some useful information about that your account details, like what we call you have successfully logged in, or you have you have entered some mistakes or errors in your application, like that. So that is nothing but automatically it should flash some messages, right? So that is nothing but flashing. So using the flash method, it will generate the that flash message. So who will generate this flash message? Actually, the server will generate. So server uses which method? It will uses the flash method to generate the flash message. But what server is doing, where it is displaying? Actually, the server is displaying the output in the HTML page. So the server in the Python application, it is using flash method to generate the flash message. But that flash message should display in the HTML page, in the output page. So how this HTML page will read this flash message? Again, we have one more method, that is get_flash_messages method. So we have two methods here. One method will be used by the server Python application, and the other method will be used by the HTML application to read that flash messages which are sent by the server. So we will discuss these two methods with the example. So flash methods. So flash method, I think clear, right? So flash method is used by the server in the Python application to generate the flash message. So here we have two parameters for the flash method. So one is message and the other one is category. So category is an optional parameter. So message in the sense, what is the message you want to display in the flash messages? So that is the message. And next, category is an optional parameter. So which may represent about any error, information or warning. So in the, using flash method, what you want to display, whether you want to display error, whether you want to display some information, useful information, or whether you want to display some warning. So that thing you can mention in the category, but it is optional. So coming to the next method, get_flash_messages method. So this method will be used by the HTML program. This is actually output which is displayed to the user. So this HTML template will use this method to access the flash messages which are sent by the server. So now coming to the syntax of this message, we have two parameters here, two optional parameters. So with categories. So in the flash method, we have mentioned the category, whether you have passing a information, warning or error. So that you can access here using the first parameter with categories. And the second one is category_filter. And after retrieving this information, whether you want to filter something, it has passed all the things, but whether you want to display all the information or out of this information, whether if you want to filter anything, you can mention in the category filter. So we have lots of information, but in this I want to display only third line of information. Then in that case, you can use the category_filter. But these two are optional parameters. We can simply call without any parameters also. Coming to the example. So here we have index.html. So this index.html will receive the messages from the Python application and it will display the message. But before discussing about this, we will discuss the Python application first. So this is Python application flashing.py. So here I'm giving this import statement, then I'm creating an object for Flask class, and after that, to execute this Flask applications, this is mandatory. Your application.secret_key, you have to give some key. So I'm giving the key as MLR IT. So why we need to give this key? In the sense, whatever the flash information is there, so that will be internally stored in the sessions. So whatever the flash messages are there, that will be stored in the sessions. So to access that session information, so internally it needs one key. So that key I'm providing in the program. So if you don't provide any key in the program, flash program, so then it won't execute. So simply you're giving the key in the program, but in the program you're not using. So internally the server will use that key to execute this application. So I'm giving the key as MLRIT. Then after that I'm setting the root as /home. So for this /home, this home method will be executed, and this home method is calling index.html. So we'll see what is this index.html also. And we have one more root /login. So this login will call a login.html page. And next we have one more root /validate, and the second parameter we are giving the possible methods get or post. This URL will execute a method called validate. So initially error, there is no error. Initially error is none. Then after that in the validate function you are checking whether the method is post or not. If the method is post, then after that you're checking for the password. Here we have in the front end or in the application we have username and password, but I'm focusing only on the password. If the password is not equal to JTP, so my password should be JTP. If the password is not JTP, then what you are doing? You are assigning invalid password to error. So error is invalid password. Then after that I want to display this error information. So where you want to display this error information? Again in the login.html only. So this login.html is your front end, like front end, where it is reading username and password field. So here if the error, if you get any error here, when you will get the error? If the password is not correct. So if the password is not correct, then you will get the error. Immediately what it will display? It will display this information here. So where you want to display this information? Again in the same page, login.html. So what is the error you want to send there to the HTML? Again error only. So error is equal to error. So this right side error is your value, the Python value, and left side value is again error, which is used by this HTML. So in the HTML the variable value is error, and in the Python you are sending the value as error only. Otherwise, if the password is correct, then you are generating a flash message. So flash, what you are generating? You are successfully logged in. So this flash message should be sent to the HTML page again, right? So return redirect URL for home. So what is this home URL? This is the home URL. So what is this home URL executing? Home method. This home method is going to index.html. That means if the password is correct, then it will go to index.html, and that index.html will retrieve this information. What information? Flash information. So before going to index.html, we will see login.html. So in the login.html, in the body section, first I am writing the error information. Initially, whenever you open the login page for the first time, there is no error. We have given error value as none. So if error, for the first time, this condition will be failed, so it won't execute this. But later on, if you have any error, if any error is there, then it is displaying about the error information. So what is this error? This error information is passed by the Python application. See, here we have passed. Where you are passing this error information? To the login.html. So error information, whatever it is passed by the Python program, the server, the same thing you are displaying. When you are displaying, if error is there, then only you are displaying. If error is not there, then it will be not executed. Then you are closing endif. After that, what is this actually? It is reading username, password followed by submit button. Whenever you click on submit, it will go to /validate URL. And how you are sending the data using the post method. So this is login page. But if you enter proper details, correct details, if your password is JTP, then it is generating a flash message. So how this flash message will be received by the HTML and how it will be flashed in the HTML, we will see. So where it will go? It will go to index.html. So this is index.html. When it will be executed? When the successful login page. That means when you enter the password as JTP. Now here in the body section, we are using with. So with messages is equal to get flashed underscore messages. In this program, we have passed only one message, but generally you can pass as many as we want. So we can pass any number of messages, flash messages here. So I am taking all the messages, get underscore flashed underscore messages. So all the messages will be retrieved and it will be stored in messages variable. Then I am checking if messages, if at least one message is there, then I can proceed here. So yes, in our program we have one message if the password is correct, right? So if messages, then for message in messages. So if we have multiple messages, then you are going to iterate it using for loop. So every time message is a variable and messages is already, we have one variable, right? Messages will contain all the messages, but what message will contain? It will take one value at a time from the messages. But in our program, we have only one flash message. So this loop will be repeated only once. Now, what are the messages there that I am printing here? I am closing the for loop, I am closing the if, and I am also closing the with. And after that, you're giving a message, welcome to the website, right? After displaying that, if you want to again go back to login page, then I'm creating a hyperlink here, right? So login hyperlink will be created. Whenever you click on this hyperlink, it will go to the login page again. So this is the program. So now coming to the output here, see, I'll get this page in the first login. What is that first login? /home. So if I click on this login, it will go to this login page, email, password. If you enter invalid password, immediately I will get error information here in the same page. What is that page? Validate page only, login page only. Right. Now, if your password is correct, then you will get this flash message. So this is the flash message. Welcome to the website, and after that you're getting one hyperlink also. So we'll try to execute this application. So we have two HTML files. We should store these two HTML files in the templates folder. And after that, another HTML is login.html. And we also have Python application flashing.py. So this you need to store in a new folder. So for this, I need to execute the Python application. So for that, I am opening command prompt. So change the directory to new. Then after that, execute your application. Before executing, activate the scripts. Now, how to execute? Set flask underscore app is equal to flashing.py, and how to run? Flask run. So it is giving the IP. So to get the default page, you should enter /home. Right. So if I enter /home, I'm getting this page, welcome to the website, followed by login. If I click on it, I'll get the login page. The email may be anything. You can give any email name. But coming to the password, if I give JTP submit, then only it will go to the successful login page. So this is the flashed message sent by the server. So you are successfully logged in into the Flask application, followed by your displaying some heading, and again we can go back to login page. Now I am entering some email ID here, and I am entering the password other than JTP, and if I click on submit, here only it is displaying the error information, invalid password. So that is the use of flash method and get underscore flashed underscore messages method. So if the server wants to display some flash messages as the output to the user, then it can use these two methods. So we have discussed about the flash method, which is used by the Python program, and get underscore flashed underscore messages method, which is used by the template. And we will also see, we have seen one example application also. Thank you.